Ladies and gents, it is time once again. We have some MD2L action on the ticket for you tonight. I'll be your caster, ZenDota. It has certainly been a while since we were back on the grind, but here we are again. We got TBM, we got Royal Star, and we got a draft that is getting underway. So, expecting to see the usual bans that we've seen for a lot of this patch. Razor, not too surprising there. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Luna taken out, as Luna been one of the stronger carries of the patch, and there seems to be a lot of early carry banning in general, as teams have gotten a bit more comfortable picking up the carries early on. We see the Kunkka taken out by TBM. Just such a strong laner right now. Can be flexed into that safe lane role as well. We've seen it done by Team Secret a few times. They are by no means a stranger to running it.
5 seconds left. Don't freeze
And now for Royal Star, you're gonna take out the Sand King. So Sand King, I'm a little bit surprised to see targeted out this early. Might be a matchup pick against TBM. Is certainly a strong offlaner right now. The laning with Caustic and Sandstorm has always been very solid, and having that nice blink initiation to start your fights is by no means a bad thing. They are leaving, I would say, perhaps the more populated initiating offlaner in the pool right now, which is the Mars. And the Weaver, of course, probably the best 4 position in the entire pool right now. Weaver just so obnoxious, that Geminate and lane, the Swarm. And they also leave in the Space Cow. Spirit Breaker getting picked up. Combos great with some of the offlaners still left in the pool. It was a good combo with the Mars for just good initiation. Great combo in lane with the Darkseer. But also, we've been seeing more and more of the Spirit Breaker in that core position, so could just be a core.
5 seconds remaining.
And the new Silver Edge has been very good on Spirit Breaker, as well as going for Ags, giving you all the move speed. They're going to pick up the Dark Willow as a response to this, so high magic damage and quite a bit of lockdown. Pretty nice against this tanky Spirit Breaker. Could gear themselves up for their own Mars pick, as Terrorize plus Arena is one of the nicer combos. They're just going to go for the Undying, so pretty strong lanes coming out from TBM so far. Willow, not the strongest. Bramble, a fantastic spell for lane though. Undying though, he's going to be harassing everybody. That Tombstone going to be very obnoxious for the Spirit Breaker to deal with. It's going to be taking away all his move speed, as well as he's just going to have his strength sapped pretty constantly. And the Lina going to be the pick up for Royal Star, so that offers a sort of answer to the Tombstone. You have the high attack speed, meaning that you can take it out pretty quickly, and Lina's very long range means it's rather safe to do as well. Is also just a very solid mid laner, although one of her worst matchups right now, the Queen of Pain, is still left in the pool for the side of TBM to grab, but we are in our next ban phase, and I would expect the Royal Star probably gonna take it out here, as they ban out the Bane on TBM. Morphling taken out by Royal Star. And yeah, that'd be a great lane for the Morph to inhabit. Just very safe with the Undying. So, a very logical ban coming out from the Royal Star side. TBM, it seems they're pretty confident that this is going to be a Spirit Breaker offlane, as they have not put any bans on offlaners, though I was going to say, until they ban out the Pangolier. And the Naga Siren also taken out by Royal Star, so just taking out all illusion heroes. A war against them right now, as we see the PL, Morphling, well, he likes to build Manta, and the Naga Siren all taken out of the pool.
10 seconds remaining.
And certainly makes a lot of sense. Spirit Breaker, not a very good hero against those illusion cores. Hard to lock down the right one and get all that damage out on him. Lina, same way. Can just get blown up by illusions getting on top of her. And the Medusa banned out from TBM. So, very importantly, Queen of Pain left in the pool. Would add some good tempo for this Undying to kind of play around. You pick up that Orchid early on. You'd be able to rotate over the Undying lane relatively early too, because he just throws down Tombstone, you throw down Dagger. It should be a pretty easy kill on the Spirit Breaker as long as whatever core they pick up has a stun. And you'd gotta think that if they're not picking up a stun in the mid lane, well, they're gonna have to pick up it either in the carry position and a lot of stun on the off lane if they're just gonna rely on that being your main stun, because still just a Willow. But I'd really like the Queen of Pain pickup here. I think it's a great pick this game. Spirit Breaker isn't really that much of a problem for you because you can always just blink away. You don't mind building a Yule Scepter, but it's not the greatest item. Other than that, you could definitely go for something like an OD. And they're instead going to prioritize the offlaner, pick up the Brewmaster. So not the most popular hero as of recent, but certainly not a bad hero. Great against the Spirit Breaker, as you can just tornado him up in the air. Won't be able to do anything for an entire fight. Great level 6 timing here from the Dark Willow as well as the Brewmaster too, as both their level 6 allows them to get kills on pretty much any hero on the map. Although I would be a little concerned, you know, seeing 2 strength heroes with not a lot of CC. Could be a Timbersaw in the making. Although the Dark Willow, never great to play against as Timber. Jakiro, the pickup here for Royal Star, loves Yule Scepter, so Lina and Jakiro do combo well in that sense, but also willing to build himself and good pure damage versus this Undying and Brew.
5 seconds remaining.
Also gives you a way to stop the Dark Willow, Dark Realm TP. I guess you have that with the Lina too, and to an extent with the Spirit Breaker, but Jakiro makes it nice and easy. It also adds some stability to your lane, as Jakiro just does solid lane support, as they're most likely either going to be picking up their other support or their off lane here. As I gotta imagine this is a mid Lina. Oh, Invoker. Okay. I don't know how I feel about Lina's support. It has not been popular for a while, and for good reason. That hero loves farm. Loves getting items. And putting it in this 4 position, I mean, you can make it work to be sure, but you'd really maybe like to run it core. Invoker has been run 4 in the past. You could definitely go for the Quaxwex Earn offlane build. But amazing against the Brewmaster, I might say. Cold Snap preventing him from getting off the Primal Split. He's not a super high mana hero, so just landing an EMP basically makes him useless in a fight. Forces him to go for probably an earlier BKB than he would have liked to. It's a great pick against the Brewmaster. Against the Undying to an extent as well, just because you can keep him away from you. Right now, Royal Star with a lot of lockdown on their side. A lot of team fight to play with. So, TBM, be wise to invest in the split push. Try not to take these 5-on-5 engagements. Because even though you do have the Tombstone in the split, which is great team fighting tools, I don't know if it's enough to beat out Royal Star. At least with what they have right now. With their offlane and 2 supports picked up, it's just the mid matchup, which you gotta think it's most likely gonna be the Invoker here. And they're gonna go with the Drow. So, Drow and Dying, a very safe lane. Gonna be hard for anybody to stay on top of the Drow long enough for them to get the kill. Obviously, you have the Soul Rip too to heal her back up if she does end up getting gone on. And there, finally, we see the Quap ban. So, Royal Star recognizing, hey, this is a lane dominator, arguably the best mid hero of the patch, and they haven't touched it yet. Let's just make sure we get rid of it. TBM, at this point they know, well, it might not be a mid Lina, it might not be a mid Invoker, but carry's definitely the last pick. So what do you not want to lane against as a Brewmaster? What do you not want to go into the game against for TBM? They're going to take out the PA, they already took out the Dusa. Any heroes that love to jump on this Drow, you are already picking a Drow into a Spirit Breaker, which honestly never feels great, but they feel confident enough to run it.
5 seconds remaining.
I honestly wouldn't mind something a bit unconventional like a Bristleback. Just something that'll run at this Drow Ranger. If you wanted to be a bit unconventional but less unconventional, you could go with a Lifestealer route. Infest Bomb Spirit Breaker is a combo as old as time itself. Great at getting on top of the Drow and sticking on him. A good laner versus the Brewmaster because you have the Rage and the Feast. As well as you can just disjoint anything that Dark Willow ever tries to do to you. You can rage off Cursed Crown, you can rage out the Brambles, you know. Although it has not been a popular hero for a while. There's Royal Star. They got their last ban here. Trying to decide what they don't want mid. I would say it makes a lot of sense to take out the OD. Yep, and they do just that. Just a very oppressive laner. The Meteor Hammer nice for early pushing, but also a great save against the initial burst that they probably want to jump on a hero with the Lina Spirit Breaker.
10 seconds remaining.
And now, what else would you pick if you're in that mid
5
lane?
seconds remaining.
You probably still want something kind of evasive that can play around the SB. So, maybe something like a Void Spirit or an Ember wouldn't be too bad. There's no Royal Star. They gotta blind pick their carry a little here. Not knowing what the final matchup is going to be.
10 seconds
I think
remaining.
Lifestealer or Bristleback makes a ton of sense here. Or just some early
5
BKB
seconds remaining.
building hero that's willing to run at them. You could go the Luna route, as Luna's still in the pool, and just go for like a Mom DL BKB kind of build. I don't know if you'd want to go into a farm more late against her, but something that could get on top of the Drow. You could go Blink Dagger Luna just to get on top of her and man fight her, because Drow doesn't want to man fight that. You also have the help of the Alacrity Invoker. You'd be able to take down, and building is very quick. That'd be a bit more standard for this game. But I mean, we're arguably going to see a support Lina, so a far from standard draft from Royal Star. So they're down to the last few seconds. Gonna have to pick something. They're gonna go for the Wraith King. Okay. So something tanky. Something that can, in a sense, get on top of this Drow Ranger. Likes to build Blink Dagger. Hits a earlier timing. You know, you just go Armlet, Deso, and are willing to walk around the map at that point.
10
But
seconds remaining.
still a lot of counters you could pick up to it. Just anything that gets rid of that
5
mana.
seconds remaining.
Or anything that likes to build Diffusal, or anything that's not easy to jump on is the main thing. And it's going to be the Viper.
Choose your hero.
Interesting. So mid Viper as their answer to a Wraith King last pick. I mean, it provides them with a steady output of damage, ability to fight early. It's not going to scale well enough to deal with this Wraith King, so they're going to have to hope that this Drow does get off to a relatively decent start. Because there is going to be a point when this Viper just falls off the face of the earth, and then you have a Wraith King Invoker, Spirit Breaker looking at you, and that is a scary thing to want to fight into. You also have to be a little bit afraid, because, I mean, the team fight definitely in favor of Royal Star. Like, they can take fights, no problem. You have Invoker, you have Spirit Breaker, you have Jakiro. Like, they're gonna run at you. And I just don't think that the Primal Split plus Tombstone is gonna be enough. Especially when you have a pseudo answer from the Lina to the Tombstone. It'll be interesting to see. This is my first game cast in MD2L this season, so not too familiar with the teams and the roles, but you'd have to expect that this is an offlane Spirit Breaker. The support's definitely going to be the Jakiro, obviously safe lane Wraith King, and we'll have to see where this Invoker Lina ends up. On TBM, they at least made it a bit more clear. for me. As we are about to get set in this game number 1, season 10 of the Midwest Dota 2 League. And let's get into it. If I had to give the favor to one or the other, probably Royal Star. I'm giving the slight edge. It's going to depend if they can get off to a good start, take advantage of their good team fight, and not just kind of get overrun by TBM early on. As you have that in Dying, always a scary early game hero. If you can kind of get past that timing to where he's super strong, get to sort of that middle 25-30 minute mark, that's when you really start to hit your timings on them. Open, we have a game crash. Well, let's see if it'll let me reconnect. I don't know if it will. So, might be in a touch of trouble. So run into a little bit of technical difficulties here. Let's see what we can do. We'll throw the music back up real quick and go back to the intermission screen for just a second here. So we missed the first few minutes here, but we're getting back into it. It looks like it did end up being a mid lane Invoker, and he's going to start to struggle against this Viper of Centurion. Let's just go through the players real quick. On mid, we got the Centurion Viper. Bot lane, we got Fat Loser on the Undying, Soundproof on the Drow Ranger. Up top, we got Chris on the Dark Willow, and Savage on the Brewmaster. For the side of Royal Star, we got Madior on the Wraith King, Onieros on the Jakiro, Drazi, sadly welcome back to lane on that Invoker, Erba on the Alina, and Vexar on this Spirit Breaker. It looks like they're going to pick up a kill down bot. 5-4, already a very high kill game. We're only 4 minutes in. Already 9 kills up on the board. Soundproof has been one of them. Is not going for any points in the Fiery Soul. A bit interesting, especially if you picked up this hero kind of in a way to counter out the Undying, who has already put a point in the Tombstone. As he'll just continue to be this lane bully. Already picked up his ring regen. Wants to be tanky, wants to walk at this Royal Star side. As they're going to drop down the Tombstone again just to get more harassment out, but I don't think it's going to result in a kill here. Erba on the Lina, walking back. Do they have the Frost Arrows there? Yes, they do. It'll be another kill for Soundproof. This Fat Loser getting brought down low, but he doesn't much care. As he'll have his Trank Boots out there pretty soon already. Up top, I said Chris getting brought down low. Madior doesn't need to get the click in as the Jakiro's got him fine. Savage, he's very healthy right now. Was clicking into the Wraith King. Already has almost the full earn done on this Brewmaster, so I'll be wanting to play more aggressive here once that's finished up. And that means him going earn on the Brewmaster means that there's not going to be a Spirit Vessel from the Viper. Sometimes we do see it looks like he's going the BOT's DL route. As back in this bottom lane, Fat Loser juking out in the trees. Vexar, no mana for a charge, and we have the Viper rotating down here too. Erba, he gets spotted. Doesn't want to commit the Viper Strike though. And still with a lot of mana to play with. He'll have the LSA up when he needs it. He just can't keep track of him in the trees right now. This juking, very well done from the Lina. He's going to throw out an LSA and get out. And in the meantime, they lose Chris up top. This Wraith King getting off to a very strong start. 2-0-1. Not even picking up the boots. Just give me that armlet as soon as humanly possible. And Centurion making the walk of shame back to lane, but he had a pretty solid lead. So Drazi just about now going to catch up in levels. Still actually hasn't yet. He's going for the first item, Midas too, so it is going to be the Quas Exort build of old and not the new Quas Wex build. Which I don't know how I feel about that this game. I think you want to be a bit more active with your Wraith King. Nice two-man silence coming out from Soundproof means that Vexar can't get the charge in. Having a pretty decent lane though. 21-10 versus the 20-1. A lot of denies for Soundproof here.
What's my problem?
As he's just going straight in for the DL up in the top lane. Savage has the level 6 online, but not enough mana to pop the ulti. Finally gets it, but still with the Ice Bath, Matador able to get out of range in time. We did see the Viper once again rotating these side lanes. He needs to get something out of all this time he's spending. Viper Strike able to get in lane. Tries to go for the TP out, but quickly canceled by the Bramble Maze. Although this does leave some options open down bot. Fat Loser juking out in the trees. They're going to drop down the Tombstone. LSA comes through. Multi-shot. Not enough to find the kill. The zombie is not going to be able to finish off the Lina. They turn their attention towards the Spirit Breaker, but without level 6, will it be too much? Will it be too hard? No, it will not be. They get one. And it's definitely the more important one. Spirit Breaker going down. Let's say the Sunstrike, excuse me. Down bottom, Drazi picking up his first kill of the game. And that's a very Sorry sight if you are on this TBM side. That means Drazi getting closer and closer to that hand to Midas. Only about 500 gold away now. That's when the acceleration begins for the Invoker. Up in this top lane, it now does get much, much harder if you are the Wraith King. He can't really come to lane anymore. He's realized that, just resorting to the jungle. Will try to finish up his armlet there, as he knows this split pretty much means his death every time, and he doesn't want to level his ulti at level 6. I mean, when he even gets to level 6, still at level 5 right now. So behind his counterpart, Soundproof, who level 6.5 right now, almost picked up the Treads DL, so having a very good start to his game. And we see the early game pressure is going to start to build here for TBM. Fat Loser just hiding in the trees right now, waiting for somebody to step a bit too far down. Fat Loser looks like he's going to walk over to see the Lina, but this means a charge onto the Drow. He can start to turn here, but nothing's going to get started. Up in the top lane, Brew, he is going to commit the split. We'll find the kill. It looks like it might result in another kill for TBM, actually. Madior tried to go for the TP out way too late, was forced to level the ulti at level 6, and he's just going to die right back, I think. Curse Crown is there, the slow from these poison attacks. Yeah, he's going to be dropping here. No help on the way. Alright, stand corrected. Jakiro, no way he completes that TP. Yeah, cancels it out. The charge still coming through from Vexar. Has the ulti online, so maybe just want to pick up a quick kill here. That's what he's going to go for. But he does have the Shadow Realm TP, and yep, nothing to stop it. Very good awareness from Chris. Sunstrike in base, not going to be one. Midas finished up for the Invoker, though. That's a big get. 10-minute Midas, no boots. Not the greatest timing, but he did have to land against a Viper after all. As high tempo, one way to call this game so far. 18 kills at the 10-minute mark. As we have a lot of Royal Star heroes headed towards this bottom lane. They want to put pressure on the Drow. They spot her out. DL just got finished up. You see Jakiro rotating down to try to find something. They stack the stuns up, and now the TP from Centurion. Laguna Blade thrown out on the Drow. It's not enough. And they're going to have to hard disengage now on Royal Star. This TP from Centurion, they did not expect it. And Fat Loser with the ulti of this Flesh Golem. He is just running down the Jakiro. No chance to get away. Double kill for the Undying. And they lose absolutely nothing. The only consolation prize, well, Drazi won't be active on the map for a few more minutes. At least he's able to pick up the mid T1. And then the top lane, actually Savage, picking up top T1. So ends up being a trade all in all, as he's already level 9 on the Brewmaster. That is tied for Savage, tied with Centurion, excuse me, and Drazi for highest level on the map. This is going to be a scary Brewmaster, going into straight for the Ags after his urn. You do have to worry about this Invoker, though. I mean, you got Cold Snap, you have EMP. Can always prevent him from getting off the split if he's not careful. As Madior still trying to play a little bit of catch-up here. Under 4K net worth, the lowest of the cores. No, not the lowest of the cores. You have Vex there. Alright, well, you'd like him to be above Vex there, if we're being honest, but that's quite alright. He's walking down here. Fat Loser, he drops down the Tombstone. I don't think he's going to have the backup to be able to get anything done. Chris is walking over, but more importantly, in the mid lane, they find Centurion. And that's a great kill to find for this Invoker. He's going to get very close to those BOTs now, only 500 gold away. They are still walking down Vexar, down bottom, and they'll be able to find him. Got caught using his charge a bit too aggressively under vision, and well, that'll cost him his life. Back down bottom, Soundproof. He's having himself a fantastic game. He's going to start to scale very well into this mid game here once he picks up his Shadow Blade. He'll start to be active around the map, start to be able to find some kills. Especially with Centurion on this Viper. Going for the Atos next. Already has his BOTs finished. He's ready to go. He's ready to fight for the most part. But Soundproof still a ways off. He's going to want to wait up, maybe head up top to farm some Ancients. They're going to hit a great timing around this 20-minute mark where they have Ags finished up on the Brewmaster. Atos done, maybe plus one more item for the Viper. You might even have Shadowblade Yasha by that point on Soundproof if he's farming real well. And the pressure building over towards mid. Savage level 11. Getting close to that level 2 split. Pressuring out Drowsy for the time being. This Wraith King in certainly no position to fight yet, only with the armlet.
Someone better help Dire's middle tower.
And I think
Radiant's bottom
they might just let it go. Now, Curse Crown comes out onto the Dark Willow with the meatball. It's going to take a fair bit of damage there, but ultimately pushed back.
Radiant's bottom
Tombstone dropped, and I think that pretty much secures the tower here for TBM.
Dire's middle tower isn't going to last.
Not going to want to fight into that, especially with Brew split up as well. Just go to the jungle, farm some other lanes.
Dire's middle
Oh,
tower just
they
went
got
down.
caught in the bramble right as they smoked up. I think that might have spotted them. Invis room on Savage too. He's able to pop the smoke. Lena walking a bit too far forward. Doesn't know that there's a Brewmaster there, and yeah, he's just gonna back up. So 2 towers apiece for each team as we've hit the 15-minute mark of the game. Atos almost finished up now here for Centurion. 1 or 2 more creeps. Shadowblade done for the Drow. Not going in for the Yasha. Instead going to pick up the Hurricane Pike. Nice to be able to have a little get off me against this Spirit Breaker or the Wraith King. And maybe look for a group up here on Royal Star. I mean, I don't know what you can do though, because this Wraith King is not going to be ready to fight for another few minutes. You do have Macropyre up, you have the Spirit Breaker ulti up, but I don't think that's enough. They need some items on these core heroes. And they just have nothing right now. No Shadowblade for SB. Invoker going this first item, Midas, means that he's not going to have anything for a while. And the Wraith King needs to get that Deso, maybe plus Blink on top of it before he feels confident about fighting. They're going to head down bot to defend the T1. As we talked about, spells online, so it's by no means a lost cause to try to take a fight here, but advantage definitely with TBM as Savage. He feels confident. He can just walk up and hit buildings. No EMP coming out, though. So once the Cold Snap ends, he's ready to ulti if he wants to. Viper Strike comes through onto the Invoker, but immediately the Ghost Walk comes out. Terrorize 2. They just hard disengage. So nothing gained, nothing lost so far for Royal Star, but they will end up losing the tower, not wanting to take a fight with the Invoker, not really present there. As right now, TBM, they're just willing to bring the numbers to these lanes. I mean, this is not a great way for Royal Star to start a fight. And I think it really comes down to some of the builds that they went for. I mean, Spirit Breaker, perfectly fine going Shadowblade, that's what you do. But this Midas Invoker, I mean, you just can't do anything early on. Also going for the Exort instead of the Quas Wex, it's just a lot harder to start a fight. Start something, initiate something, find a pickoff. He was just forced to stay in lane. And while he got his mid tower early, just, you know, nothing else besides that.
XD.
A pause coming out here. Means that we got ourselves some time to take a little breather. Invoker, he's decided to go in for the first item, BKB. Not a bad pickup to be sure. I mean, it's going to help against the Brewmaster especially. Be able to ignore the Undying and the Willow as well. But still you have this omnipresent Drow Ranger who would be happy to rip into this Invoker with BKB up. Brewmaster, he's going to have his Ags very, very soon. And I was talking about that roughly 20-minute timing where they have Shadowblade up, Ags up, Atos up. Maybe with a +1 for the Viper. And yeah, he's going in for the Maelstrom next. Wants to finish up the full Gleipnir. And he'll have it up probably by the 23, 24-minute mark. But right now can definitely be go time on TBM. You don't want to give this Wraith King too much time to farm, because there does eventually come a point where he can start chunking through heroes. He's still going to need 1 or 2 more items before that. Playing against this Brewmaster, you need a BKB. You need a Blink Dagger to get on top of this Drow Ranger. So his timings, just because of the hero matchups that he has to play against, just doesn't have a great safe way to enter these fights. And, well, his team is noticing that lack of damage and that lack of jump. As yep, Ags delivered for Savage. And now is when you look to take a fight. I mean, you could just control this triangle area of Royal Star, make sure that the Wraith King's not allowed up here, and he doesn't really have much of a way to counteract that. I mean, you can't just walk into high ground. And it gives the Drow pretty much complete free farm of her own side of the map. Decided to just pick up the DL for now. Not pick up the full Hurricane Pike, realizing, hey, we're having a great game, boys. Let's put the foot on the aggressive pedal here. Finishes up the Silver Edge. And now, I mean, they might have enough damage to take out Roche, honestly. If you can get vision control around it. Picking up Aegis, I mean, there's then really no way for Royal Star to take a fight. They might be interested in just that. All 4 of them headed up to this top end of the map. Are going to end up walking past the Roshan pit, though. Madior, done with his Deso, so a great sign. If you're on Royal Star, he is still hitting some decent timings. 3rd on the net worth chart for the game. We already start to see the net worth of Centurion starting to fall off a little bit. But the Maelstrom does help with that farming speed, as well as the BOTs being able to be more places than once, pushing out lanes. And a smoke up from TBM. Charge coming through. Who does it land on? On to nobody as the Atos is there. They got the Curse Ground followed up afterwards. That's a dead cow. Turned him into a burger there. And with that pick, yeah, you can for free pick up this top T2. They're going to pop the fort, but only really delaying the inevitable here. And Soundproof, he has no problem tanking the building for the creeps. Oh, unless he does, and now they don't have any creeps. Although I think they'll be able to take it before backdoor kicks in. Yeah, they'll be able to take it out. First T2 going down. Now the outpost is open. They're going to grab it here on TBM. And Centurion with the BOTs. He's already down bot. We'll have to be a bit careful, though, as Drowsy has his BKB done. Plus a whole lot of damage from Exort. Final split. Pump faked by the Brewmaster. But they're just going to let Fat Lucy go down. No harm, no foul in letting the support die. They do just end up giving the outpost to right on back to Royal Star. And that's a big pick off for Vexar to be involved with, as that's now his Shadowblade done. He's immediately going to make a charge towards this middle lane. And Shadowblade's back on out. Erba keeping close eyes on this Roshan, knowing that it's probably going to be one of the next objectives that TBM wants to take. He has his Yule Scepter finished up too, so a nice item find for the Lina. Aetherland's almost done on the Jakiro. As I might honestly like... I might like a Glimmer Cape this game, honestly, a little bit better. A lot of magic damage, just being able to throw somebody invis for a little bit. Especially the Wraith King if he's getting gone on. Might be a bit better, but Aetherland's still good. It's down bottom, Vexar. He got spotted out by the dust here. Does not have the damage to finish him off before the TP. Yeah, just barely lives in Fountain. And the smoke up from the other 4 of TBM. Headed up the high ground. Pop smokes immediately. Ulti coming out from Fat Loser as well. The tombstone goes down. Tornado comes through, completely whiffs. And Savage, with this primal split, can just kind of run rampant in this fight. They take out 2. And with those 2 dead, I mean, you could head into the Roshan pit. They could try to shove out mid. Let's see what they decide to do. Actually, looks like they're going to try to go bot. I mean, bot's pushed him pretty far right now. I think their time would be best spent going for that Aegis. But maybe they think, well, only 20 seconds dead on the supports. That's not enough time. Let's push out our side lanes. 2 more kills is only a good thing. Blink Dagger, very big pickup for the Wraith King, now done. 1 more item before he's really able to get involved in these team fights. As Royal Star, I mean, they're getting outkilled this game to be sure, 17-10. But they're keeping the net worth gap close. Really hasn't gone above that 3K net worth lead that it went at for TBM a while ago. Any more smokes up on a TBM? They might have ran out too, yeah. None in their inventories, but they could still have one in shop that just isn't showing up. Royal Star, they still have 2 smokes of their own left. I mean, with this Blink Dagger, you could try to make a reveal with Madior. Find somebody and get a pick off, but, I mean, their vision right now just so incredibly defensive. You see what their half of the map sees. It is very dark. Really, the most of what they see is because of these Spirit Breaker charges. Oh, can I see the full map again? Alright, what's my hotkey for that? That's an important hotkey to figure out. Well, we'll go into the settings real quick and figure out what that hotkey is. Professional streamer as per usual. Don't remember what my hotkey is to do fog for. Spectator, here we go.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Both teams. Oh, it wasn't set. That seems like a problem. There we go. Alright, Aegis gonna be picked up here for TBM. Going on to the Drow Ranger, who's had her BKB done it now too. So this Drow, very scary. Not really a great way that you can get on top of her and kill her twice. I mean, got a lot of magic damage, but that 10-second BKB, he'll pop that, just stand and fight pretty much anybody. Also has the help of the Undying Solar Crest too, so yeah. Surprisingly tanky. Jakiro, he's poking his head forward in this middle lane, but can't do much in ways of defense. As while they're spending all this time mid, I mean, bot tower is going to drop. Madior, able to pick it up. And the fort popped mid. I mean, they're certainly making it seem like they want to try to do some sort of defense. But, I mean, yeah, Soundproof's just going to take it down. That, honestly, popping that fort might open the way to the high ground. They have double ulti up on Brewmaster. There's not a whole lot stopping them. As they're now just going to make their way towards bot. At this point, it just seems like they want to finish up all of the different T2s across the map. They only have ball left. Still have control of that top outpost, too. So the XP lead is going to continue to grow for them. Yeah, to a 6 levels lead. About 500 XP difference. But the big one that is very nice if you're a Royal Star fan, only a 1K gold lead. The XP does get a bit scary, especially if you're looking at this Wraith King. Not even level 15, you have the Drought level 18. But Invoker, Drazi, level 19, highest level on the map, in part because of that Midas. But you take it where you can get it. And if you can keep it so the only thing that TBM gets with this Aegis is the outer T2s, I mean, you definitely consider that a win. As by the time they're done with their Aegis, Mattior will probably have his BKB done. And that's when you can finally start to look for some fights.
Dire's bottom tower is being chipped away.
There's no Ancients to grab. He'll just go push out top. Bottom lane, they're just completely surrendering it. Yep, they just wanted to pick up the last T2, so all racks now open for business for Royal Star to begin to poke at.
Dire's bottom
As
tower
the
is under attack.
Drow Ranger soundproof, now going back for the full finished up Pike. Gleipnir done on Centurion as he builds in for his own BKB. And I imagine Savage actually not going in for the BKB of his own just yet. Tornado EMP combo coming through Savage. He's going to pop the first ulti just to buy some space for them to take this first building. It goes down right quick, and Airbo walking a bit too close there. Won't land enough frost attacks to be able to find the kill, though. Soundproof. Standing here feeling so incredibly strong right now with this Aegis. As they're going to throw out the Laguna combo on the Fat Loser, but he's going to pop the Soul Rip, keep himself alive. Jakiro, he's now walked too close. He'll drop. That's first laner Axe going down. Tornado Sunstrike combo trying to come out onto the Brewmaster, but off the mark. As he charged forward, coming out onto Centurion, trying to jump forward as the Wraith King finally trying to get involved in one of these fights. He does a lot of damage, and they'll take out Centurion. Although, now lifted up in the air, Drazi getting gone on by these Brewlings. Soundproof reinitiating. There's the damage. But Mattior with the stun, keeping the Drow locked down. The burst is there. They take down the first life. Although, Brewmaster now popping out of his split, able to throw out some damage too. There's the Gust. There's the Terrorize. They take down two. First life of the Wraith King down. He's popping back up into a world of hurt. Mattior, just nothing he can do without a BKB in this fight. The Frost is too much. The control is too much. They're going to lose the Jakiro once again. Ends up being basically a 4-for-1 as the Jakiro died and came back into the fight. And that's going to certainly be another lane of racks. Maybe the Megas if they don't want to buy back. Although, actually they're not pushing as fast as I thought they would. Yeah, it's just going to be another lane of racks. So 2 lanes now biting the dust. I mean, they could certainly try to poke for 3, but without the Aegis on the Drow, it's a little bit scary. So they're still going to try. Fat Loser getting brought down low. No Tombstone for another 50. Initiating here onto the Brewmaster. Be a great kill to find if he can get it before the split comes out, but they cannot. Buyback coming out from the Jakiro, and they're going to finish off the Megas here. Drazi just completely boxed back by this Savage Brewmaster. They don't have the damage to be able to finish off all the Pandas. Has now jumped in on though, but Mattior, he finished off his BKB. He's coming to this fight. Won't be enough to save the Megas though. So his initiation into the game might have been just a little bit too late.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack. Radiant's top barracks have fallen.
As he did at least trade out racks up top. I mean, that's certainly something. And picking up the BKB too, very nice, but still down Megas versus 1 lane of supers. You don't feel great about that. Although this Wraith King finally a hero in this game, he's only going to get scarier as the game goes on. So even though they do have the Megas up, the game is far from over as we see the net worth lead already kind of tanking back in favor of Royal Star. It was up to, I think, about a 10k or 7k lead there, yeah. 7-8k lead and already down to 5, so 3k back for Royal Star.
Radiant's middle tower could use some help.
And they'll be able to poke into this T2 mid. I don't think they'll be able to finish it off though. Just Forge Spirits aren't that powerful. Although once he picks up the oh no, he doesn't have the Forge Spirit talent anymore. That's unfortunate. That was a cool talent. Wraith King down bottom. Now just going in for the AC, realizing all of the damage that he really has to worry about comes from this Drow Ranger. So build as much armor as I can humanly build. And the AC is the item. Drazi, he's finished up his Sheep Stick. He's been building up for that for a while. Force Staff done on the Jakiro. And Force Staff also done on the Lina. So a lot of items coming out from that fight. Bought himself quite a bit of space. As up top, BKB now done for Vexar as well. But the looming threat of Mega Creeps is still omnipresent for Royal Star. Pushing out just becomes that much harder. Taking a fight outside their own base, incredibly difficult just because of the nature of Megas. Jazzy though, I mean, he has the damage to split push pretty effectively. And now we see a Lincoln's finished up for Soundproof here, not wanting to get charged on. BKBs will start to come online now for TBM too. They kind of forego going for it early on, now to pick it up in the late game. That's Brew. He's going to be the big one to pick it up next. We see it picked up now on the Viper. Drow has had it his for a little bit here. Soundproof. Let's continue to box them in their base. Continue to grow that net worth lead back in favor of TBM as it drops pretty low there. Now as I say that, I mean, they're just kind of letting Drazzy split push bot here. No one really coming back to defend. He has the TP back to base, so he's ready here for this defense. Towers starting to get poked on. Silence is there. Vexar forcing to pop in an early BKB. Nice ice pass catching out Soundproof. Meteor, he can't get the initiation here onto the Drow. That's the target he wants to stick on, but won't be able to. Just so much damage from this sniper rifle of a Drow Ranger right now. He's forced to disengage. BKB popped by the Drow, trying to man fight Drazzy. He'll find the kill. Buyback available. Forced in to use it. Meteor jumping back on the Drow, but still a BKB online. Just now expired. Second life up for this Wraith King, but without a BKB of his own, he is just completely lost. 3 meatballs flying through, but the split's still there for the Brewmaster. Soundproof finds the Gust again. And they'll find a triple kill for the Drow. Make it an Ultra, no. Fat Loser steals it. And there's the GG getting called out. So a decisive game number 1. Coming in at just under 35 minutes for TBM here. And they take the first game. Now, I'm not sure if this is a best of 3 or a best of 2, so I will ask during that intermission, and I'll throw it up during our intermission screen. But first, let's take a look at some stats. I'd really like to highlight probably the performance of Soundproof the most. I mean, his positioning in these fights was very good. Made sure that he was never getting jumped on by the Spirit Breaker, never getting jumped on by the Wraith King, even when he did get his blink. Kept himself evasive enough in these fights. Oh, because it timed me out on because it's the post-game stats. Well, that's alright. Let's see if lobby number 2 is up yet. Not yet, but I'll check about whether or not it's a BO1 or not. Oh, join my lobby. There we go. Alright, so we have lobby number 2 up, and we'll get back to that for game number 2 in just a few.
Seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team's turn to ban. Dire team's turn to ban. Radiant team ban.
Ladies and gents, we're getting back underway. We got game number 2 between TBM and Royal Star, and we got ourselves a draft. So we're seeing the Kunkka and the Weaver taken out once again by TBM, Razor taken out by Royal Star. So abandoning out the OP heroes, the dominators of this patch, and Royal Star had some problems last game against this Undying, honestly. The Undying put in a lot of work. I don't know if you want to ban it out this early. They did pick it up very early on TBM. As well as that Brewmaster also causing a lot of trouble for the side of Royal Star. So I imagine one of those is going to get banned in this first few picks here. Because otherwise I see no reason why TBM wouldn't just run it again. I mean, it had worked to great success last time, but they're going to keep the Ban's, I believe, the exact same. Taking out the ban again. So if you're TBM, I mean, you might be in a situation where you're like, show me this doesn't work, you know? Like, show me that you know how to deal with this hero.
Radiant team's turn to pick.
It's gonna be the Jakiro again. This time, it is going to be in the hands of TBM and not Royal
10
Star,
seconds
though.
remaining. 5 seconds
So,
remaining.
bit of a role reversal here. But Jakiro, I mean, the same reasons I said it was good last game, it's good this game. You know, gives a stable lane, good team fight.
Team's turn to pick.
Oh, and looks like we're just gonna get a complete team switch up here. As now Royal Star gonna be grabbing up that Dark Willow and instead taking out the Pangolier before it can be banned. So that would be a pretty decent lane in and of itself, Willow plus Pango.
10 seconds remaining.
Willow at least can contend with the harassment of the Jakiro. Much better attack animation, is able to get more clicks in, but the spells early on are going to be favoring that Jakiro. And the Sand King, which was banned out second phase, I believe, of last time's draft. Now going to be picked up early by TVM, so we have our offlaner set.
10 seconds remaining. Turn to
They're
pick.
going to take out the Anti-Mage. Drow taking out the Respect ban here from Royal Star. But, I mean, all in all,
Team ban.
Pango also doesn't deal great with the Undying. We're going to see Naga banned out again, so my guess is Royal Star going to continue their vendetta against the Illusions. Did the same thing last game, banning out the PL as well as a Morph. TBM,
10 seconds remaining.
their next ban here. Not wanting the Ogre Magi, I think, is an interesting ban. I mean, I guess it's nice against the Sand King in the sense that it's a hero they can walk into Sandstorm and not really care and box you. But instead, the Dusa and the Puck gonna get banned out here, so Royal Star most likely gonna grab their next support hero. In terms of what you grab against the Sand King, it's not great.
5 seconds
I
remaining.
mean, it might be too early to pick up a Shadow Demon, as maybe you probably just haven't seen enough on TBM to know that it's a good Shadow Demon game or not, but it's a good hero this patch for sure. We've seen some Lions from the 4 position, as they seem to be thinking about it as much as I am this game. Weaver taken out, obviously that's your best, always going to be your best option for supports, whether it's 4 or 5. As they're going to take their sweet time in deciding here. You could go for something like a CM wouldn't be awful. Oracle's good because the Purge and the Magic Resist against the Sand King is really nice.
Turn to pick.
They're gonna go for Coddle, so definitely a greedier support build, or support duo, excuse me, once again coming out from Royal Star, and we saw that last game too. With the Lina in that 4 position, I mean, you're asking for your supports to be a bit
10
greedier.
seconds remaining.
Lina, Jakiro, both those heroes would love to get some items and farm creeps, but you can't have them
5
both
seconds
doing it.
remaining.
And this time, Willow plus Coddle, I mean, it's kind of the same way. That being said, they do have some good Coddle combos left in the pool. Chiefly is going to be that PL. One of the better heroes of the patch right now. I think the lane against the Sand King, honestly, probably fine. I mean, you're a melee hero, so it's not great, but it's pretty hard for him to kill you pre-level 6. And the harassment of the Spirit Lances in lane can be very, very nice. Assuming that this is, in fact, a 5-position Coddle, which I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen a Coddle in a while, so I'm not sure where you put him. They could run him mid. I remember when people were running mid Coddle. As now TBM They got their pick of the litter. The cow still left in the pool if they wanted to go for the Spirit Breaker. But I guess with the Sand King picked up, looks like both teams probably going to stick to keeping it as an offlaner, not try to rotate it out of that. So I wouldn't mind some instant Hex to stop the Pango from getting off his Rolling Thunder. Lion comes to mind. It really does depend on whether or not this Jakiro wants to be a 4 or a 5 too. If it's a 5, you could do something maybe like an Earth Spirit. Gives you TP cancel for Willow, silence against the Pango and the Coddle. Is great at sticking on top of heroes, good with the Sand King. It is also a very specialty hero though, and they're just going to pick up an Invoker pretty early on here on TBM. Very much anything you can do, I can do better. Drafting philosophy coming out from them so far. As they're now to their 4th pick of the draft, and you gotta imagine this is gonna reveal if it is going to be a support invoker. I kind of doubt that it will be. Let's see. Lion. So we were talking about it. The instant Hex against the Pango is very nice. As well as the Finger of Death damage, great just for bursting down heroes. So now Royal Star, you've seen this support duo of Lion Jakiro. A lot of CC, a lot of magic damage. You either pick somebody who stands so far back that he doesn't care, or somebody who can ignore it entirely like the Lifestealer. There is always a worry though, when you are playing as Lifestealer against any sort of Hex, that you get hexed before you can get your Rage off. And Lifestealer without Rage, I mean, it's not too terribly hard to burst him down.
10 seconds remaining.
Last band's going to be coming up from TBM.
Radiant team ban.
Quap going to be taken out, yeah. A vessel for the Lifestealer to be inside of. The Puck already taken out of the pool, so you don't have that option either. If you wanted to be crazy, you could go for mid Spirit Breaker. I'm sure we all remember the Zhao 8 mid Spirit Breaker at TI. And it pairs well with the Lifestealer. But you just want somebody who's mobile, somebody who can be around the map quickly. Could go Void Spirit. I would really like a Void Spirit here. Against the Lion, it's really annoying, but it allows you to jump in. And that's something I think they really need right now in Royal Star's draft, is an ability to jump in. I mean, you have it from Pango, but he doesn't really want to be the first into a fight. And yeah, we're going to see the Storm Spirit banned out too. Another hero that's just willing to go in.
Dire team's turn to pick.
PL going to be the last ban, as you don't want to deal with the looseness of Lifestealer. Building a Mjolnir never feels great. It's TBM. They got their pick of the litter for their carry position here. I gotta imagine it's somebody who just kind of wants to sit back and click on this Lifestealer, kite him out. I would really like a Morphling this game. This looks like a morph and a half kind of game. You build Scotty, Lifestealer can never kill you. Don't really care about Coddle. You can shotgun him down if you decide to go for that build. Not really too worried about the Pango either, or the Willow. Yeah, this is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful looking Morphling game. And they're going to pick it up. A great Morphling game here for Soundproof to be on. That feels really good. And now you're looking for something that can burst down this hero. I don't know if there's a lot left that's too safe. You could go Lina and instead run it mid this game. In terms of like natural silences, I mean, there's not a lot. You could go OD if you're real confident in being able to hit that frame 1 Meteor Hammer combo. Also, the damage is just not awful in general, but they just need some sort of high magic burst. As right now, their team fights seem to be a bit long and drawn out, and Morphling does not mind it. As Royal Star, they gotta find the answer here, though. I think they're gonna go for the Lina. I think that's probably the best pick you can make. They're gonna go for TA. Okay, interesting. So that certainly provides you burst damage, but it's burst damage in the form of physical damage. So, I mean, it's all right. Obviously, Morphling, probably the highest armor hero in the entire game. So TA, I feel like it's just going to really be tickling him, especially if he decides to go for an E-Blade kind of build. He can just E-Blade the TA every fight or E-Blade himself. I mean, of note, you do have Vexar on the core Keeper of the Light here, so there is going to be a bit more burst damage early. Maybe you're just hoping shut down this Morphling before he's able to ball out of control. And that certainly could be possible. I mean, Coddle, very annoying early on. Pangolier on the 4, though, and an Eros on the Dark World of 5. That is greedy. Greedy. And that was Royal Star's undoing last game. They tried to make a draft that was a bit too greedy, wanted to farm a bit too much, and their main hero, the Wraith King, wasn't able to hit that timing because the rest of his team couldn't make stays for him. They didn't have the items. So we'll have to see if this game spells a different story for the side of Royal Star, but, well, the script looks shockingly similar. TBM, I mean, they don't have a way to get active super early if this is going to end up being a Quaswex Invoker, which I imagine it will be. It gives you some options. Sand King, obviously, once you pick up his Blink, you're ready to go. Lion also would love to pick up a Blink Dagger, too. But you're primarily focused on getting the Sand King the Blink, and then going from there. Let's see. What does this Invoker want to go for? Hasn't leveled anything yet. Okay. And laning up against a TA as well. I mean, you're going to feel that damage difference. Like 60 versus 52. And he's going to be building damage items while you're really not going to be. But we are going to see the level 1 smoke. And who is blue? Oh, it is the TA, Drazi. The only one kind of anywhere near is we already see, yeah, Madior, hiding under tower, wants nothing to do with this. As Drazi himself, yeah, he's hiding under T2. They don't really see any value in contesting runes this game, and honestly, it makes quite a bit of sense. Centurion, he'll get a ward of his own down, and yeah, picks up the Quas, so going for the Quaswex build. Noticing now that all the heroes are up top, but they're scouted out by this ward right here, so you have to think that Vexar and the rest of Rostar is going to be ready to fight this. Illuminate skilled up. We'll throw out the blast on the rune spot, but ultimately surrenders it. I mean, it's a lot of harassment on Chris, but I don't think he minds just walking back to Fountain. I mean, if you run in with Pango, if he levels up his swashbuckle, you probably kill the Lion. But maybe just not wanting to put a point into it too early on. As actually, by his build, is this actually the core? I think this is the core, core Pangolier. He has the Quelling Blade. Six tangos, 3 branches, a bit interesting, but he's already have something coming out to him. Yeah, this is going to be the Magic Wand. Although up against Soundproof and Eros, I don't know if there's going to be that much spellcasting. He does put the first point into Shield Crash too, just focusing on securing CS and being tanky enough to survive in this lane already though. And Eros losing the harass battle very low there. Soundproof not able to get the last few clicks in. Does have the salve in his inventory. And now clicking back is Erba. Once again, leveled into Shield Crash. Very good for these first few levels. Down bottom, we see Vexar, who is now playing the 5 position here. And this is a lane I don't know how I feel about. Vexar, I mean, on the support, I don't know if you can output enough damage or really have the levels to be able to effectively kind of harass out this Sand King. But up in the top lane, first blood claimed. Level 2 picked up. Didn't even need to use the swashbuckle by the looks of it. Jakiro probably just walked a bit too far forward. Wave pulled. Soundproof. We'll go over to try to secure himself some creeps as we check over to the mid lane now. And to be expected. I mean, TA with the heavy damage advantage. You expect him to be having a good time here. going to be 7-0 versus what will likely be the 14-2, so almost doubling him up on the last hits. But Centurion able at least to get the range creep deny, pulled away with back under tower. He's not going to be able to secure that one. His null, double null actually, by the looks of it. Yeah, going to be coming out. And then just going straight in for the urn. So the Quasplex that we're used to seeing, nothing too out of the ordinary. But it's going to allow him to get active on the map early. Obviously the urn great just for the refraction charges on the TA as well. As you look back towards bottom, I mean, this is really all that Vexar provides is an occasional Illuminate spam, but that doesn't really do much to help this Lifestealer secure last hits. And yeah, you're noticing an 8-2 versus the 15-2 on Savage. So the lane's off to a good start for TBM despite giving up first blood, and they might even just find themselves a kill here. The last few clicks, not going to be in time. Vexar, though, not really a whole lot of regen left to play with here in this bottom lane. And Savage at this point just kind of pushing tower in. Can now go over to threaten Vexar, but he's way too fast. Up top, Fat Loser once again, still only at level 1, has been getting a lot of solo XP over to Soundproof. So he's almost level 4. Is just trying to pick up his Morbid Mask as fast as humanly possible here. He does have the double circlet, but it doesn't look like he's building out on either of these Wraith Bands. And actually, in fact, I'm for the Band of Elven Skin early on. Might have just liked him saving up for Morbid instead of grabbing that, but he has it. Nothing much to do now. As in the mid lane, we still see, yeah, the last hit disparity is going to continue to be that way. There isn't really a great rotation option you can make either.
Look at that. Radiant's courier just
But you
got
hope that
killed.
just Drazzy gets what he needs out of lane. Or excuse me, not Drazzy, Centurion gets what he needs out of lane and then can start to rotate around the map. And we already see his double nulls are there. Now he just needs to finish up the urn. Then he can rotate top, he can rotate bottom, he can get some stuff done on the map. It actually looks like Savage has kind of resigned himself to trading farm with Vex or with Madior here, and it looks like they're going to start to click him to them quite a bit. Nice two-man stun there from Chris. Gonna save him from too much damage, but I mean, this is Ghoul Frenzy plus Orb of Venom, or Orb of Corrosion. It's a whole lot of slow to deal with. 257 move speed. Yeah, that's by no means quick. Nice two-man stun again coming out from Chris, though. Lining him up like it's nothing right now. Blast again onto Savage, but still, without the levels you really get from being a core coddle, doesn't really matter that much. Doesn't really hurt. And finally now Soundproof has the Morbid Mask coming out to him, so this lane gets a lot harder if you're airbow. You can't just harass down this Morphling anymore. He's getting close to his own level 6 as well, and that'll make it a bit harder because you can always just morph into you and swashbuckle away. But a much slower start to this game than we saw last game. I mean, by like 7 minutes, we already had 9 kills. This game only 2. By 10 minutes, I think we had 18. So a much more relaxed beginning. Both teams getting what they need out of lane so far. TA sitting at the top of the net worth charts. But now Urn done for Centurion. Now his game sort of begins. Would probably like to pick up one more level or two from sitting here mid. And then the rotations start. He could TP top to try to kill off the Pango, or more likely the Dark Willow. Or a great kill to find, but a much harder one. On to this Madior Lifestealer. Although I don't really think they're going to have the sustained lockdown to prevent him from just raging and walking away. And speaking of rotations, Draxi with the haster, and he's going to walk up top. This should be a pretty easy kill to find. We'll try to go for Soundproof too, but he has the waveform. Actually, he didn't end up going for the Morbid Mask. He went for Treads instead. That certainly helped his ability to click on Airba, but the sustain will not be there because of it. Although not looking like he needs it too much. Back mid, Drazzy's back here. Centurion picked up his level 7. And this is where you really want to see... Oh! he was just morphed too much agi. Alright, that's a big death too, because he was close to his Morbid Mask. That hurts. That sets him back quite a bit. As Savage, though, still the bright spot for this TBM side. Actually didn't put a point into the epicenter at level 6, prioritizing the points into the Sandstorm, just being able to pull those waves back and farm them. And that makes a lot of sense here. Just make it so the Lifestealer kind of has to go over and deal with you stealing his jungle. And ooh, a lot of neutral items being found here all at once. Keen Optic, Broom Handle. As up top, no point into the Ice Blast means that the Willow gets out completely for free. That's actually Rolling Thunder going to be used here. Fat Loser is, I think, going to drop. Airba needs to land 1 or 2 more rolls, but actually now Swashbuckle on cooldown. I don't think, yeah, especially with him missing the Shield Crash, that's not going to be enough. Although him missing the Shield Crash actually might cost him his life too. No point into the morph from the Morphling means that he's not able to turn into him and have that extra mobility.
On Dire's top tower.
Centurion, he's picked up his level 8. Only actually 700 gold behind Drazi. I thought it'd be a bit more. Any stacks being prepared? No stacks prepared for him just yet either. So yeah, I mean this this TA is gonna end up being kind of a little bit smaller than he probably should be. As up top, Soundproof, he needs to start morphing a little bit of strength. Yeah, there he comes. Keeps himself alive. As we see another pick off for Drazi. As he's walking in, Centurion boxing with him. Vexar here, he's going to throw out the blast. We need some sort of combo coming out. It's not going to be in time. Killing spree for Drazi. He's going to continue to accelerate this game. And there's at least 1 stack for his name. And that'll be DL done. A very quick DL here. 9 minutes in, Tread DL even finds himself a possessed mask too. So kills are all Royal Star, and it looks like that might continue down bottom. Airba trying to use his Rolling Thunder to get something done, but the Sandstorm there, and yeah, Savage doesn't much care. Jaxie finding another support, and he might be in trouble here. Chris, is there any sort of slow on him? There isn't. Tornado, EMP lands into the ice path, but no follow-up after. No Earth Spike on the mark. And even still, I mean, they don't have the damage. This is a level 4, 2 level 4 supports and a Quaswex Invoker. They need a bit more oomph. So now is when the TA's game really starts to accelerate. Just going in for the DL right into the Blink Dagger, not going for Deso afterwards. We'll probably pick it up later. So the greed, I mean, they're at least getting away for it for now. But Savage, he's found a nice stack here. Vexar hit up with the Cold Snap. But Centurion, he needs to run here. Can't just be poking too far up. As we see, yep, the TPs came in. Airba, Madior running in on Chris. This is going to be a very dead support. And actually, Fat Loser going down over in the mid lane too. Rolling Thunder coming through. Airba won't find Savage on the first roll, finds him on the second, but it doesn't look like they have extra detection. He's gonna try to pop the epicenter, now feared out of his Sandstorm. Probably wishes he had that stun saved up right about now. Instead, just throws up the epicenter. He'll go down though. Cold Snap comes out on the Drazi, but no Tornado to speak of means a no kill for the side of TBM. And a 9-0 kill score so far. That being said, this is all without the Morphling, who's found himself a nice little bit of farm in his own jungle, finished up his Morbid Mask, got some Raindrops too, and 1,500 gold in his pocket. Yeah, he's just going to go in for the E-Blade build. Wants to be able to blow up this Coddle, blow up this Willow, get a fight started off with a good 4v5. And I think that's definitely the build this game. After that, you could decide to go in just for the straight a Scotty after that, but it will probably go for the single Yasha, not complete the Manta, and then Scotty just for the extra stats. And Scotty's a must-have this game. You need it, need it, need it against this Lifestealer who's getting close to finishing up his armlet. Did not have the greatest go of it coming out of lane though, so will still be a bit delayed as they try to find some sort of kill down bot here. Savage Having his Blink Dagger delivered, it's there now. He is showing on wave too, so if they click on him, they'll know. Airbo, the only one down here. Looks like they are gonna let tower go by the looks of it. Yeah, no TP is really coming in. I mean, no epicenter for another 30. This would be a great fight to take if they wanted to rotate people down here, but instead they're rotating over mid, where Drazzy, he's walked way far forward here, but still no level 5 on Fat Loser. Instead gets the turnaround click. One more will do it, and he gets in range for it. Chris lands the Earth Spike, but no follow-up, and another kill for this TA. 5-0-1. That's Blink Dagger done and on its way. 12-minute Blink Dagger plus DL. You can't ask for a much better start. Quas, he lands the Cold Snap into the EMP, into the Blink Epicenter. This is the Blink reveal you're looking for, and they're going to find a big kill for Soundproof, too, of all people. A very, very good find, and here comes the tips. The BM is there, but hey, I mean, I wouldn't feel too bad if you're Drazzy. You're just raking in, what was that, 200 Dota plus shards? I'll take it. Soundproof. Now only 1,200 gold away from that E-Blade, and that's when he really starts to become a hero in this game. On the flip, we have Erba, who's going in for the pipe, actually, so gonna be able to counter up the shotgun blast a little bit. And is armlet done now for the Manny or Lifesteal? Looks like it is. Getting delivered up here, and he's continued just finding space for himself right now. Has not been too involved in the game as a whole. Just been farming on his own by himself. Completely split from the team. As speaking teams, down bot, Erba away from the rest of his own. Trying to find a kill on the Fat Loser. Gonna drop down the Macropyre, at least make Erba run through it if he wants to find this kill. Jumping through is the Morphling. Erba completely out of mana as well. He'll drop. That's a 3-kill streak going the way of Chris. Willow able to get the TP out. I believe Savage did use the Burrow Strike. Yeah, it was on cooldown. So no quick find there. But still a big kill to get on the Pango. Drops him down to no. So 11-2 the kill score, but still only less than a 1k net worth lead. Partially because Soundproof, I mean, he's just having a very good game for himself here. 115 last hits already. Only 800 gold behind this TA, who has been rocketing ahead. Is now going back for the Desolator, as they're turning their attention towards top here. Mid as well, Drazzy solo pushing, but yeah, he's going to play it safe. Realizing they're not just going to let him hit mid tower for free. As Midas now down on Centurion 2, going in for BOTs up top. They're going to find Fat Loser again. An easy pick off to get with level 6 up on the Willow. And this probably means the tower is going to drop as well. Madior actually forced to go for the early rage here. Blink Dagger's online for Savage. Yep, there it is. Looking for the epicenter. Not able to get it up in time, though. The Terrorize keeps him safe. And now reinforcements are here. Arab is here. I mean, Drazzy's in the neighborhood, but not quite there. Rolling Thunder Infest under tower. Invoker needs to get off the Ghost Walk, but I don't think he's going to be able to. He was dusted up anyways. Doesn't matter. Chris, he's going down next. As Drazzy can just blink. There's the click. There's the kill. So top tower will drop. Mid looks like it will end up being the trade, though. No teams having their forts online. Yep, Airbill will finish it up first. Soundproof, he finishes up the mid tower and gets his E-Blade done, too. So a big timing now hit for this Morphling, but I mean, some big kills to pick up top for the side of Royal Star. Is going to go in for at least, looks like he's going to go in for the full Manta. I'd really just like if he went in for Yasha and then Scotty this game. I don't think you really need the full Manta more than you just need the Scotty to counteract, honestly, the TA and the Lifestealer. Great against both heroes. Drazzy. Almost having his Desolator finished. Chris tries to walk up and throw out a stun. Won't be able to find it. Now going to get probably reinitiated on here. Although no Blink Dagger up for the TA until now, and they'll throw in the click. Oh, counter initiation coming through. Cold Snap plus Macro Pyre, and once again, Savage just can't get off this epicenter. The Terrorize seems to be there every single time.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, that makes more sense if you have the Morphling close enough to be able to jump in on that, but without it, I mean, you're jumping without most of your damage. He just wants to hit creeps. He wants to be able to get his farm up, finish up the Yasha probably before he gets to anything, and now Airball showing his Blink Dagger. Nice tornado coming through, but the Rage is better from Madior. Fat Loser looks like he might just end up being next. There's the Infest Bomb. Although no Blink Dagger online, Soundproof jumping in, trying to get some counter kills, and he'll find it. There's the E-Blade reveal. Drazzy ends up going down too, as Savage used the epicenter. Soundproof has the ability to jump forward if he wants to. Looks like he won't. They forced a buyback on Centurion though, so that's really gonna hurt his game. Yeah, he was getting close to his BOTs, now set quite a bit back from it. But Soundproof now can probably take over the top net worth spot with the TA being dead for as long as she is. And ooh, that is so nice if you are a Morphling player. Please tell me he noticed he picked it up, right? Like, he grabbed it, because it's not in his inventory. And oh my god. Yeah, there's almost just a casual one-shot on the Coddle. Shows you the damage that the Z-Blade can do. Yeah, they did pick up the silver. Good. Because, I mean, as much as the Essence Ring is nice when you're fully morphed into Agi like this, like, you're going to get to a point where the Quicksilver Amulet is going to be better. Savage, he's getting get jumped on here. Dust Reveal is there. Macropyre trying to get something started, but I mean, you need the Sand King to lock down Drazzy for long enough. And that'll help him finish up his Desolator, so even more damage now for this TA. And probably most importantly now, Roche ability. They're going to have the SNY finished up soon for Madior, and I mean, you really don't know if you need that much damage from Drazzy's going to be the one doing most of it here. As they're going to concede to losing this mid T1. Chris, he TP's in. He needs to be careful. That's a lot of damage and a dead lion. He just got lionized. Soundproof. We'll clear out the wave. And yeah, with Deso done, like I said, heading into the Roshan pit. Does get scouted out by the Sunstrike, though, so they might decide to back off. As they really don't want to take a fight in that Roche, but you still are playing against an Invoker and a Sand King and a Jakiro. Great AoE spells. You don't just want to run in willy-nilly. Scouts it out with the Tornado. Yeah, seeing that no one's home. Under vision this whole time. Looks like they found out Soundproof top. Oh, this would be a big catch to get. He's stunned up, was able to get the Strength Morph off in time. And I think that's going to save his life here. Waveform away. They need the stun. No bashes to speak of, as there's no basher yet. So very big that he's able to get off his Strength Morph there. Although that might still secure the Roshan for them, forcing him all the way back to base. Yeah, they're going to walk in. And Drazzy probably doesn't even need that much health to be able to take it. Once again, the scout comes through, but yeah, this is too much minus armor. It's just going to drop before they can do anything about it. So they might not have killed Soundproof, but at least picking up the Aegis is certainly something. TA continuing to be the strongest hero on the map here. There's now, oh, he's going BKB next after Manta. I think you can be greedy. I think you can get away without it. I think you really just need to commit to, I need to be tanky enough to take hits and deal damage. Because this TA is 90% of the damage that you're going to have to contend with. And he's doing no matter what. And speaking of BKBs, Drazzy going to go for one of his own. As he takes top tower completely by his lonesome here. I mean, he has backup in the form of the Pango and Vexar kind of nearby, but not really close enough to do much of anything. And they're just going to take tower. Trading tower basically for nothing so far. Centurion and the rest of TBM are down here. They're going to find a good pick off to start the fight. Or might have spoken too soon here. Has now jumped back in. There's a Sunstrike. But it's going to cost him the Sand King as he jumps in way too deep. Now finally Centurion throwing in some more spells. Trying to finish off the Willow. Not going to be able to find it. Lion will though. Finger of Death there. Soundproof. With the help of the Alacrity. These are some quick clicks. And he finishes off Madior. Where's TA in all this action? Well, was too busy pushing out top. Didn't have the TP back down quick enough. That's a great fight, all in all. You lose 2, you pick up 3, but most importantly, Madior going down. As he's actually trying to pick up a Scotty of his own. Maybe Morphling will notice, take a page out of his book. He'll go for the Scotty after BKB, but I think you'd rather just have it first, honestly. As Madior, he's going to shove out mid here. They did still lose the T2 to take that fight, though, so, I mean, you don't feel awful about it on Royal Star. It does open up the outpost now. You can start to take control of that dire jungle, but doesn't really like to pressure that too hard here. The rest of TBM, I mean, they're just going to stick as a group. They know. Pickoffs are easy for this TA. Stay balled up. We might even see an attempted go for one, baiting Chris forward here. They spot him out, though. There's the blink away. So, no avail there for the side of TBM. As instead, everybody will just go back to farming. Pipe now done on Erba. That's a nice timing to hit. Means the E-Blade, it might not burst down Vexar 100-0 now, which is great to hear if you're the Scottle. He is also going for a Glimmer Cape of his own, which will be done pretty soon. So it's going to be harder to blow up this support. His kill score still very in favor of Royal Star, though, 22-7. I swear. Sometimes I watch League of Legends with my friends, and they have like a 3-kill advantage, and like the game's like over. Like, yeah, they're never coming back. They're down by 5 kills. And then the beautiful game of Dota 2. It can be 22-7. Still pretty much an even game here. Nobody really having a great edge. Madior caught out by that scan, but not looking to jump blind there. Chris getting real close to his Blink Dagger, too. I think he'd prefer if they just didn't jump at all. It's down bottom, though. They found Drazzy. Can he get off the Blink Dagger in time? No, he cannot. Age is still there for a minute, but I don't know if he'll have the backup in time. Age is down. The team running in. Airball. Rolling Thunder. Plus the Infest. Macropyre down. BKB bopped by Drazzy. Trying to find this kill before the rest of the team gets here. Drazzy barely staying alive. Will he be able to? No, the BKB plus the meld won't be enough. Disarmed up is the Morphling. He's not putting out any damage. He's just going to go for the TP away. Not in time. Vexar finds the double kill. 3-man stun. Not quick enough from Chris. So they lose the TA, but the reinforcements were on the way, and they'll pick up 4. A big fight here for the side of Royal Star. The burst just not quick enough. And now they find themselves down another 3k from where they were before they took that fight. Honestly, I think if the Morphling gets out, you're perfectly fine with it, but the fact that he dies is what makes that a bad fight. Because now he's not farming towards Scotty, he's not farming towards BKB, he's just sitting in Fountain. And speaking of Scotty's, Madior, he's getting pretty close to his, and that'll make him a pretty tough customer once he has it done. It'll really help with his ability to stick on these targets. I mean, if you're able to keep vision on the Sand King, he'll be able to pretty much just munch through him for free. Either of the supports will go down right quick. As the greed, at least for the time being, seems to be paying off for Royal Star.
Top tower has looked better.
Crystallis gonna be coming out soon for the TA. When continue to increase his damage. 10, 3, and 7 performance from Drazzy so far. Very well done. But still, they'd like to sit back just a little bit. You don't have Aegis anymore. You want to wait for some more items. Scotty definitely going to be a timing. Ag's coming up on the Coddle, but that's still going to be quite a ways away, so probably not going to wait for that. And of course, the Crystallis, maybe Daedalus is what you wait for on Drazzy. Down bottom, I mean, he hasn't bought out any of the components of this BKB. Still gives me hope that he'll decide to go for Scotty first. BKB now done on the Invoker. Yule's going in for Halberd now on Savage. Would really like to pick that up for this TA. And ooh, a Titan Sliver. The best item you could get on the Morphling is your all base damage. Oh, Paladin Sword's not too bad either, though. Rolling Thunder coming through. They blow up Fat Loser. On the other side, though, Vexar will trade it out. Madior trying to stick on a target here. Finds Savage. He doesn't have the Bro Strike for another 2. The miss chance is there, but not enough. Chris, it looks like he'll be dropping next as they try to jump back in this fight. And just that was not the right decision. Soundproof decides to cancel his TP, so it's pretty close to the rest of Royal Star as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Although I don't think he goes for it. I think he has to stick around here. Yeah, actually does go in for the Paladin Sword too. I think that's the right choice.
Radiant's bottom tower
Mid tower gonna drop. They could probably honestly force for more with the Invoker dead for 60. Let's see if that's what they decide to do. Drazzy at least is gonna poke his head forward, see what he can find. And they'll find a Morphling. Solo though, so can't really do much to defend this tower. Just gonna stand here, maybe throw a click or 2 into Madior. And the racks are next. I wouldn't mind just throwing out the Macro Pyre here on Jakiro just to kind of dissuade them and push him back. As he just buys out full BKB and now purchased up for Soundproof, so does go for that instead of the Scotty. And now you really gotta wait for the Scotty. Now that's the big item. That's what I think what you're going to need to fight here. You need just some extra health versus Drazzy. Otherwise, he's going to win the 1v1 fight. At least his BKB is getting a bit shorter, down to 7 seconds. Long Thunder, pump faked. Lifestealer, TPing in. Here it comes, blinked in aggressively onto Soundproof. He didn't get his Morph off. He's going to drop. No buyback on the Morphling, and that might just be curtains. We'll have to wait and see here. Tornadoes are going to start to stall this push out, but with Deso up, already an early buyback from Jakiro, I think gives you a bit of a notice that, yeah, maybe there is no buyback on this Morphling. They're already starting the fight. You would have probably seen it by now. They probably have the inkling. Chris jumping forward, lands the Earth Spike, but just no follow-up damage. Air, but jumping in with the Infest Bomb. Running forward is Madior. He finds himself a mega kill. And still no buyback. Dead for another 30 seconds. They could probably try to poke top, but they're going to be conservative. Don't want to overextend and throw this game. Drazzy has 3k gold in the bank right now. I'm shocked he hasn't just bought out on the full Daedalus. So this is a great Roshan timing too. Given that over to TA for the Silence Traps, that is so very nice. Yeah, he's going to grab both. They're actually going to give the Aegis on over to Madior instead of Drazzy, which is a bit interesting, but the big thing is going to be that Silence Traps. Because if he's able to land that on the Morphling and he doesn't get off Mentor or BKB, or they're on cooldown for whatever reason, that's a kill. If he gets it on any of the supports, that's a kill. Drazzy gonna find Soundproof, blinking him forward. But he's a self-E-Blade here. Manta comes out, BKB now online, but he's still E-Bladed up. Wasn't able to get too many clicks there. Well, now it's expired. Trying to put out any damage, but he just has none. Cannot output damage to match Madior and this TA right now. Uses the self-rage, just trying desperately to get himself away in this fight. Looks like he'll be able to. Successful disengage so far. Mattior still chasing. Ice Path. Not on the money, though. Blinking back in is Chris. He finds a nice two-man stun. Blink, Epicenter, catches on the two. Into the Sunstrike. They might just finish off the Lifestealer here, and they're able to. TA down 2. He didn't have Aegis. Mattior forced to go for the Rage. Forced to try to run away here. No TP on him. Savage, he's staying on his target. Making sure that he's not going to go anywhere on Mattior. The team seems too distracted trying to take down Erba, who popped the Rolling Thunder. Or excuse me, the Roll Up. And they might have just let Mattior go here. Oh, nice base coming through there from Savage. But still, they need to stick on top of this Lifestealer. This is the hero you really want to find. Blink forward, rages out. Ghost Scepter from Chris, keeping himself alive. Savage had his blink canceled because of the Bramble Maze, though. Still is online. He can use it to catch Mattior. Yule's up is there. He's buying all the time, but the team just now going after Vexar. So much chase, so much control from Savage, but they just didn't prioritize killing off the Lifestealer there. And now even Vexar is going to get out. So I think definitely a bit of a missed opportunity there on the side of TBM to really capitalize off of that fight win. Still a great fight. Still killing the TA is amazing. Finishing off Aegis, great. Makes it so they can't just push it down the game. But you could have gotten some more. Soundproof. Now we'll go back in for the Scotty. Did have to use the BKB in that fight, so BKB revealed down to the 8 seconds, but much worth it.
Not much good's happening to Radiant's bottom tower.
As now,
Invisibility.
game sort of resetting back to a neutral state here. Without Aegis, I'm not sure Royal Star really wants to push in and be hyper aggressive. Without Scotty, I'm not sure if TBM really wants to take a fight. Let's see what other items they might have cooking up too. Ag's going to be the play for the Invoker. Fat Loser going in for an AC. Not an item you see every day on him, but I like it. The armor is what you need this game. Savage has finished up his Halberd, now going in for the Shivas, and Chris, well, he has his Ghost Scepter done. Grouped up now is Royal Star down bottom. With smoke in hand on the Coddle, they could look to maybe go for a smoke play here. Although you might want to wait for the Swift Blink to be done on the TA. Oh no, they're grouped up under tower. Scotty now done on Lifestealer, going in for the Nullifier. That's going to be a finished Nullifier, actually. So some big item times coming out. They're smoked up. Scan doesn't catch. Circle drawn very accurately as to where they are, as I suppose Fat Loser was picking up the outpost, so, maybe a bit obvious. Blink away, not there in time from Chris, though. He's nullified up. He's just going to drop before this fight really begins. Erba even saved the Rolling Thunder, too. Can they get out with only one casualty is the question. Rolling Thunder there up top, but Fat Loser with the Force Staff means that he gets out. Illusion's pushing out top lane, so they have to try to go for mid if they want to make any sort of pressure on the high ground happen. And that death, honestly not even for that long, was only 44 seconds, now already cut in half before much of anything really happened. So really a great fight disengage coming from TBM to not lose anything else. Still, the big thing probably, control of the Roshan pit, the most important thing this game. And Royal Star still has it. They're able to get that third Aegis if and when it should come up. We're also going to have the 25 coming up soon on this Morphling too. I mean, when he's have that 2 waveform charges, it'd be a very hard bugger to keep nailed down. Scotty finished up for Soundproof too, but he's foregoing buyback for it. And the rest of the team is mid. Rolling forward, Arios with the Infest Bomb is there. BKB popped by Centurion, able to get off the Invis and stun. Now coming back into Erba. Self-Yules, but the Ice Blast is there for when he lands into the Macro Pyre. Earth Spike there, but they're going to force a disengage. Ignis Fautus reveal coming out from the coddle. And now, smoke up coming from TBM. Scotty online, they used a few big spells there. The Infest, the Rolling Thunder, the Ignis all down. They do catch Madior on this ward. And yep, that's going to be the target. All eyes on him, although it's going to be real hard to lock him down for long. He's farming these creeps pretty quick, too. They might not even catch him. They need to blink forward. Chris is there. Hex comes out. Into the Earth Spike. Reinitiation, trying to come for the Rolling Thunder. Finger off the mark. They don't land the E-Blade combo either. This might just be a disaster here for TBM. They need to get the waveform out here for Soundproof. He's going to pop his BKB to make sure that he's able to destroy the Ignis and disengage should need be. Drazzy, though, he's already jumped on the back line and killed a disconnected Jakiro. Puppy paws indeed. We see Madior jumped out with the Infest bomb. BKB just expiring on the Morphling. And we have some dead internet, so it might be a bit of a while. So, let's just throw up some good music while we wait. Gives me a time to get a drink, too. As what a game this has been so far. Very back and forth. It seems like Royal Star seems to be grabbing the upper hand, but, I mean, anything's possible with a Morph. Alright, everybody back in. Ready to continue this fight. Soundproof doesn't have his waveform out. Does have the rage though, so going to be negating a little bit of damage. Still needs that strength morph. No Manta, no time. The bash is there. Can he get the waveform? Yes, he can. Goes for the TP out. No bash up on Madior, but they do lose Chris. As well as the Sand King. So 3 dead, 2 have buyback. Not on the Lion though. Now pushing for Rax, going to be the play. Try to go a bit too far with that jump, and well, it really cost him there. Could mean another lane of racks unless they're willing to commit some buybacks. Fort is online for both teams. Erba jumping forward. Rolling Thunder's there, but the disengage is quick from Soundproof. Still trying to catch him out in this backline, though. They'll just pop the Fort. They are going to be able to get this Rax, probably for free here. Silence is there. Jump forward from Drazzy. Ooh, the E-Blade. Probably keeping him alive there. Madior going to make sure that they finish off these buildings. Ice Path plus the Macropyre. Erba gets the roll-up, jumping away. Willow might not be as lucky on this escape, though, although the Ignis looks like it should secure them the way out. Savage has the blink up, but he's caught under a ward. And isn't looking to take another bad fight and lose the game. Erba, they've spotted out the Morphling here. Bash up. Although, with the Rolling Thunder, he might just be able to lock him down for long enough for the team to get over, although it looks like nobody really wants to. Yeah, and Erba, full out retreat. Caught under the creeps, but I don't think anybody has a blink within range to try to capitalize off that. So no Rolling Thunder, but a big objective. Aegis now back up with Cheese and Refresher. It gets scouted. They know. Everybody's aware of what's going on. Macropyre will be up. Epicenter is up. And they got to get over in time here to fight this because Drazzy takes it down right quick. And I don't know if they're going to be able to jump into the pit in time. It's already half dead. They need to get over here. Drazzy hesitating slightly. Backing up. They jump forward. Catch out this Pango. Ignis comes out. Catches on to 2. Madior jumping forward. He'll be able to take down Chris. First one down. Savage. Spider legs up to the high ground. In the back line, though, Soundproof. He'll take out Vexar. Savage dropping to the TA. Madior stuck up here by Soundproof is now Erba with the Rolling Thunder. Trying to find himself another kill. Vexar, he bought back and TP'd into this. He might just drop here too, as once again the reinitiation. It seems like the Rolling Thunder always up on this Pangolier. So much value that fight. And they're going to look to maybe take another lane of racks and end the game. Or actually just end the game. They don't have tier 2 bot. Force out this Morphling buyback if he has it. First strike there. Catching out Madior, but I think this is just a dead Sand King. He bought back. Yeah, he bought back. He's dead. That's a dieback. A very aggressive play to make, honestly. They forced out the Morphling buyback. They don't even have to commit for this anymore. They can just back. They can go take Roche. And I really don't think there's a universe where you go and contest on TBM. I mean, without Epicenter, that's a lot of control and damage. Yeah, they won't. Soundproof's just going to head on bot, start to farm up some creeps. The entirety of Royal Star making their way into the Roshan pit. And they'll finish it off. Drazzy, Aegis in hand. And now it looks like T2 bottom might be their objective, although to be honest with you, I don't think they need it. They could probably just head mid and start hitting tier 4s, but they like megas. Both of these teams seem to like megas.
Let's see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves
TA
into.
looks like actually he's the only one D-pushing bot right now. And with Soundproof in the neighborhood, he's not going to be able to 1v1 him. That's for sure. But maybe force a rotation or two. Maybe force the TA back to base if you get him too low. He's not going to want to pop Aegis for nothing. Well, it looks like he's not going to try it. Erba caught out on the scan, trying to find Fat Loser here. Although not under any vision. Nothing coming out of the Rolling Thunder.
Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
Bot T2. Gonna drop to Drazzy. Yeah, there's no way that they would try to take a fight there.
Dire's bottom
So the high ground defense truly begins. Royal Star, not too happy with the pauses coming out in the later parts of this game.
Stupid. Right. But stupid.
Do you love me?
We are going to take a second. Morphling needed balls
Do
for whatever reason.
love me?
XD.
Do you love me?
Alright guys, I know we probably lost this game, but we can still do this.
As we get the G's, and we're headed into the game. Tornado EMP on TA. With the help of the Burrow Strike, they've locked him down very effectively here. That's first life down. Erba ready to re-engage though. Rolling Thunder back online. That cooldown's so low, 36 seconds. As they're just gonna wait it out. Drazzy certainly could walk up the high ground to hit creeps. He has the BKB online. But they're just gonna wait for the next creep wave to come up here. Maybe if the lifesteal will honestly go up and hit it. He has the rage, you can just rage, hit it, walk away. Rage, hit it, walk away. And a DD? Maybe that's the ticket that they're waiting for? No ags up on the TA, so if he did go to grab it, he'd be gone for honestly most of its duration. And instead, they'll just keep waves pushed in, but begin to back off. Moonshard, I think the purchase here for the TA is he has the Hyperstone queued up. As now it's a game of patience. Only buy back up on 3 heroes. Not on the Lifestealer or the Coddle for the side of Royal Star, and nobody but Lion for TBM. I will say, this is giving time for this Morphling to, I mean, he's bought out a Chrysalis, but has the Satanic queued up. I think Satanic probably stole the play as, oh, Drazzy. Jesus. That just shows you how much this Morphling can do still. Even being behind in this game as they are. doesn't do nearly the same amount of damage back to him. He doesn't really much mind. Arrows walking forward. They could have gotten a bash chance there. Probably what they were looking for. As the stranglehold, honestly, on this part of the map is just going to begin here. Especially with 2 racks down. Jumping in his Airba. They're going to find the Lion. The one here with dieback, though. Although Morphling, he once again didn't get off the strength morph. And I think that is just going to be the game. This BKB really didn't do that much for him. Multiple times he just got blown up before he could ever get it off. Jumping forward is Drazzy. Finds the Wicked Sick kill. Epicenter jumping back through. They kill off 2. The Megas are down. You still have the Lifestealer alive as well as Airba. Centurion popping BKB. Fighting back with them. It's actually a lot of damage coming out from this Pangolier, who has his Rolling Thunder back up but doesn't have the mana so far. Drazzy's even going to buy back for this. That's where things start to get a bit risky. As Chris, he'll get bursted down. That's a dieback. And with 4 up, yeah, that buyback probably secure. Secure investment for the TA. As Airba tries to get turned on here, but there's the roll up, keeping him up and safe. And these buildings will get brought down. And this will bring down the end to game number 2. And from what I can tell, this is probably a best of 2. So that might be the end of our series. But I will check in the post game just to be sure. As you love to see, a much closer game, this game. For sure. But ending in a 1-1 series, it always makes you wish there was a third game. And maybe there is. Maybe I'm wrong. But once the game decides to load back to client, we can find out. Alright, actually, I'll ask on Discord. Alright, I just asked, sent a message. Best 2. Right. So, yep, that'll be the end of everything on our end. Thank you for Dog Eater on Discord, inviting me to cast this game. Appreciate it. It was a fun series to cast. It's fun to get back in the swing of things. Probably not my most solid series, but you know, we gotta warm back up to it. Gotta work your way back into it. And hopefully, I will see you guys in sooner than 5 months.